Good morning, you people. Right now it's about 6 a.m. We've been up for an hour. I actually had a sales call with a guy in Australia. Went well. But yeah, that's unrelated. We're at the poolside right now, and I just want to come on here and give you guys some advice. Super quick, if you give me the next like 2 to 5 minutes, I want to help you the best way I possibly can with where you are in life, whether or not you're an entrepreneur, you're just trying to figure things out. So I want to start the story by basically going and talking about the fact that 2 years ago, year and a half ago, I was completely broke, and now we're running a six-figure business at 22 years old. We're trying to hit six figures a month by the end of September, so in about 2 months is the goal. And that's the deadline for me. You know, I want to set big goals and have deadlines because there's this quote by Elon Musk that if you give yourself a year to do something, you'll do it in a year. If you give yourself 30 days, you'll do it in 30 days, right? Human beings are lazy people, right? We always take the easiest course of action, and that's why it's very important to make like your life hard, like especially when you're doing well with things. But if you were like me and you had a hard childhood, you had a hard upbringing, you had a hard history with your life, you're used to the hard stuff. So now that your life starts going well, if you don't keep up doing physical hard things and mentally tasking things, you're gonna get soft again. You're gonna lose that drive, that dog that kept you the whole time. So make sure you're setting deadlines on what you want to do, right? Whether or not it's daily, hourly. I schedule every single part of my day, making sure that your life is scheduled. Like, dude, I know when I'm going to take my next sales call. I know when I'm going to the gym, and I know when I'm going to take my next piss. You have to have a schedule with your life, or life is going to be very, very hard and tedious. Like, you need to set deadlines on everything, or you're going to end up doing stupid shit like scrolling on your phone all day, or going to work to 9 to 5 and be like, I'm gonna make it out of this, and then 10 years later goes by, 10 years go by, and all of a sudden you're at the same job, same fucking position, same life, doing the exact same thing, rather than actually achieving the things you want to achieve. And that all comes from the daily discipline, the daily setups, and the daily actual habits of, okay, I'm gonna get up at this time, I'm gonna make my bed at this time, I'm like literally everything. I'm gonna eat at this time, I'm gonna shower at this time, I'm gonna go to the gym at this time, I'm gonna do some deep work for the next 2 hours at this time, I'm gonna do it this time, this time, this time, this time. You need to frame out your days in a way that's productive so you can structure everything, get on a routine. Because my biggest problem when I started making money was I started falling off my routine because I was so overwhelmed with the amount of money I was making, the amount of responsibility I had, and the amount of pressure on me to perform for the people of my clients and all these things. Now we're in a good space, but I lost my habits, my routine. So even though I was making a lot of money, life felt super shit. And I started hating myself. I started getting down on myself. I started getting this like imposter syndrome feeling. And that just came from the fact that, dude, I stopped lifting as much. I stopped training as much. I stopped fucking fighting as much. I stopped running as much. I stopped journaling. I stopped listening to even music that would kind of change my frequency and get me in a better mood. I stopped doing everything that got me to the position that I was in, and I lost that routine. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're really, really trying to lock in, right, and you're really trying to focus, one, work-life balance is bullshit, and two, the balance comes from your habits. It comes from, dude, my morning today, I've had timers every like 15 minutes. I had a timer specifically for this video because you need to have a tedious amount of time, and you need to understand that time is money. And if you're not using it well and you're stuck scrolling, and if you're in bed and you're like, oh, I'm always tired, but then you're probably scrolling for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour before you go to bed, and all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and you told yourself you're getting up at 6. So I also recommend setting like blockers on your phone. Set blockers on your phone. Remove everything that's a distraction. Literally remove old contacts, remove old followers, remove anybody that's not either in the position you want to be or helping you get to the position you want to be. If they're old friends, they're old friends for a reason, right? You don't need them in your life anymore. And it's hard to say, dude, because there's some really close people to me that are that have been friends with me my whole life, but they're still in the position that they used to be in, and they haven't made any forward progress in years. I can't be around those people, right? I just flew with my editor from Germany because he's in the same mindset as me. I travel the world to visit friends because being around those people really helps me. So cut off the old, literally, like, I know it's the cliche of get rich and cut off your day ones, but in reality, that's how you gotta do it. You gotta cut off the fucking day ones if they're not the fucking day 500s. If they're not gonna be the ones driving your kids to school together in a Porsche, in a Rolls, right? You can't, like, it's hard to stay with them. It really is. If you have goals and you have this dream version of yourself that you see in your head that you want to depict and you want to be, it's time to genuinely move on and move past those things, because they're blocking you. They're part of your habits. Those people become your habits. So you need to cut off those people and define your habits, and you stay to them, because you need to be confident in yourself no matter what you're doing. And confidence comes from conviction, and conviction is getting things done every single day, big or small goals, big or small tasks. Just conviction comes from you're confident in doing the big goals because you know you get everything else done that you say you're going to do. So now when it comes to getting something else done, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get that done because I can get everything else done. So make your habits, get them done, and cut off the people that are stopping you from where you want to be, because there's a dream reality and there's a reality of you where you are the version of yourself you want to be. That version of yourself isn't going to have a bunch of weed smokers and coke doers and partiers and drinkers and alcoholics and fucking like college kids who just, or fucking people who just want to sit at a 9-to-5 desk their entire life. It's not the environment you need to be in. Right? There's nothing wrong with those people, but the person that you want to be can't surround themselves with those people. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's the only way to do it. And if you can't be around those people, you got to go through a lonely chapter, because you're in this little limbo with your life where it's very lonely, and that's why it's called the lonely chapter. It's very lonely. I was there for a while, where you have to cut off your old friends because you've outgrown them, but you haven't quite grown to a position where you can get the new friends. I'm in a position now where I have fucking multi-millionaire friends at ages of 22 to 27. And that's really the thing is, I went through that lonely chapter and developed myself and grew myself in that time period of being lonely and not having my old friends and not having my new friends quite yet. And in that time period, I grew myself. I grew my skills. I grew myself financially. I grew myself as a man so that I could add value to the friends that I have now. One of my friends, I just closed one of my biggest deals with them simply because I met him at a restaurant and I talked to him, and he actually knew one of my mutual friends, and we became good friends, and I stayed at his place for a while, and now I'm flying back out to Miami to see him, and he's a multimillionaire, and I just signed one of my biggest deals with him simply because I cut off my day ones and I realized that I needed new friends. The frequency matters. If they're not there for the vision, they shouldn't be there. Okay, so with that being said, today we got 2 sales calls. Today should be like a $40,000 day, and we're gonna wrap it up, and then we leave for Miami in a few days. So, peace.